As much as I do like seeing new ships in the game, I dislike the main trend behind the release of these ships. What I mean is that the new ship gets announced and then it gets released, clearly being very powerful in its class, and then few weeks or months later getting hit with a nerf hammer or any kind of balance change, hitting a ship hard. Of course, there are exceptions like ships sometimes getting buffed, but in most cases, combat ships most often get nerfed. It happens when a ship overperforms. I will bring my favorite example here in the form of the Drake Corsair. Originally, the pilot of this ship could control 4 size 5s and 2 size 4 weapon slots. Thus, it was incredibly powerful, and it would perform really well against large and medium-sized ships. It performed really well for me before it was nerfed. What they did was removing the control of 2 size 5 frontal weapons from the pilot and giving them to the co-pilot/gunner. This way making a very popular, powerful ship significantly weaker. On the upside, they stated that this won't be the final form of this ship, and it was changed because the Corsair was getting something like 80% of the kills when firing at the target. In the end, I guess they will just give it 6 size 4 weapon slots, or perhaps swap it around 2 size 5 and 4 size 4. Sometimes these balance changes can also be unintended bugs coming from balance adjustments. Well-known heavy fighter, the RS series, I guess lately more specifically the Inferno, has had its ups and downs. Some changes here have been intentional, as the heavy Gatling was a hard hitter, while others have been unintended side effects of firepower adjustments, thus resulting in this scenario where players have discovered it and brought it to the attention of the developers. In the end, it was stated that it happened as an unintended change to the ship via balance adjustment. It seems like there were happening quite a bit of these over the past year. Not to point fingers or name names, but I'm pretty sure Inferno has had its ups and downs like 3 times in less than a year. While sometimes we get lucky with a ship receiving no adjustment and thus causing concern in something like a PvP scenario. An excellent ship to describe in this case would be the Hornet F7A Mark II. This is a monster, was a monster when it was released, and is extremely powerful. As the ship might not affect the PvE balance so much, being the most optimal ship for PvP has ruined it for those who don't have it, plus it also intimidates the players who are playing other classes which no longer are as optimal as this ship. I am not saying that you cannot beat it, but it has that heavy firepower which it can abuse when you are not paying attention or get jumped. It is easy to complain that the ship is not balanced or that it needs 1-2 simple adjustments. Not every ship is meant to be competitive with others, at least not in its class and not in the same way, as there are exceptions to speed, maneuverability, size, durability and more. Once again, I could bring out 2 very powerful light fighters, the Gladius and Arrow. Arrow being smaller, lighter, more maneuverable, while Gladius is bigger, has more firepower, more shields. So it is clear that there are some trade-offs, and we cannot expect every ship to be competitive on the exact same level. We can class some of them to belong to the S or A tier, while there are many which might not directly be combat focused and not have any competitive value there. An example here might be the Aurora, but that tries to compensate with a bed and some cargo space. So it is clear that we cannot compare every ship in the same class with the same stats. Perhaps with its focused role, but that will have also exceptions. It is clear that some ships are too much for their game loops, while there are others which are just underwhelming. I am not referring or want to refer to any ship being useless, but in most cases built around other strengths, like the Corsair and Andromeda have firepower, while the Mercury Star Runner has speed. These simple exceptions might not make them most favorite ships for the players, but it's valuable for those who don't want to be caught and don't really intend to fight. It doesn't mean they can avoid it, but it might have better strengths for avoiding it. Most ships have at least something going for them, with very few exceptions, so we cannot expect everything to be on par. It is clear that some have been hit harder with nerfs, while others have not, thus creating the dynamic we have right now. I am expecting this trend to change, that the balancing will be done more actively. But for the time being, I would guess there won't be many changes, perhaps over the next few years. It is just my opinion, and we will have to wait and see what actually happens. Anyway, don't forget to like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.